Welcome back to the English Mindset Podcast. Today's story is for anyone who listens to English but still feels tired inside. You press play, you try to follow, but everything sounds too fast, too full, or too blurry to hold. And maybe you've wondered, why is listening so hard for me? The truth is, it's not because your English is bad. It's because your brain is working harder than you think. In this episode, you'll hear the story of a woman who thought her listening was stuck until one small moment showed her that she was improving all along. If listening feels heavy, confusing, or slow, you're not failing. Your brain is learning quietly, even on the days you don't see progress. Take a breath. Let's begin. She had been learning English for years, but listening was still the one thing that made her nervous. Not speaking, not grammar, not vocabulary. Listening. Every time she put on her headphones, she felt a quiet pressure in her chest, a small worry that she wouldn't understand anything again. It wasn't that she understood nothing. She actually understood a lot. But the meaning didn't stay long enough for her to feel confident. She caught a few words, then lost the rest. She followed one sentence, then missed the next three. And the worst part was how unpredictable it felt. Some days she could follow a 10-minute podcast. Other days, even simple phrases slipped away before she could make sense of them. She tried different levels, different speakers, slow speed, normal speed, everything. Sometimes it helped. Most days it didn't. And she often blamed herself for it. Maybe she wasn't focused enough. Maybe her brain was too slow. Maybe she just wasn't the listening type. But she didn't quit. Every night after work, she still put on her headphones. She listened while cooking, while cleaning, while getting ready for bed. She kept hoping that one day things would suddenly feel easier, but most days felt the same. English came in, and then it disappeared. What she didn't know, not yet, was that her brain was learning, just not in the way she expected, and not fast enough for her to notice. But she was getting closer to a moment that would change everything. A moment that didn't look special at all until she realized what had just happened. She always thought listening was just about hearing the words. You press play, you listen, you understand. At least, that's what she thought. But the truth was different. Listening is not just about your ears. It's about your brain. And her brain was doing too many things at the same time. When she listened to English, her mind tried to catch every word, translate each phrase, and hold the meaning together all at once. It was like trying to watch 3 movies at the same time. No wonder she felt tired. Sometimes the sentences sounded familiar, but the speed made them blur together. Sometimes she recognized the words, but the meaning didn't come fast enough. Sometimes she knew the topic, but still felt lost halfway through. And every time she struggled, the same quiet thought showed up. Maybe I'm just not good at this. But she wasn't the problem. Her listening system was. Her brain wasn't trained to let go of translation yet. It was still trying to process English the same way it processed her native language, carefully, word by word, as if every sentence needed permission to make sense. And here's the part she didn't know. When your brain is busy translating, it cannot keep up with natural English speed. Doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how long you've studied. It doesn't matter how many words you know. If your brain is translating, listening will always feel heavy. And yet, inside that heaviness, something important was happening. Her brain was slowly building patterns. Patterns she would not recognize until the day they suddenly connected. She didn't know it yet, but she was moving toward a moment where English would finally feel different, and it would happen in the most unexpected place. It happened on a normal weekday. Nothing special, no study session, no pressure, no intention to practice listening. She was just walking into a small coffee shop after work. Tired, a little hungry, not in a learning mood. There were people talking behind her, cups clinking, the sound of milk steaming. A normal noisy evening. She stepped up to the counter, still thinking about her day, not about English at all. The barista smiled and asked casually, "For here or to go?" And without pausing, without translating, without thinking, she said, "To go." Just like that. No hesitation, no searching for the right word, no mental subtitles. It was automatic. She didn't even realize what she'd done until she had already stepped aside to wait for her drink. Then it hit her, the kind of realization that feels quiet but powerful. She hadn't translated. She hadn't analyzed. She hadn't doubted. The sentence entered her mind, and the answer came out as if English had been sitting there the whole time, waiting for a chance to move. She looked at her cup, felt a tiny warmth in her chest, and thought, "Did I just understand that instantly?" It was a small moment. Normal, fast, forgettable to anyone else. But for her, it felt like something in her brain had finally clicked into place. It wasn't fluency. Not yet. But it was the first signal. The first clear sign that her brain had been learning even when she felt stuck. That moment changed the way she saw listening, because if her brain could do it once, it could do it again, and again, and eventually, automatically. After that small moment in the coffee shop, she couldn't stop thinking about it. Why did her brain respond so quickly when she wasn't even trying? It didn't make sense to her at first. If she could understand something instantly, then why did she still struggle with podcasts, videos, or conversations? So she started paying attention, not to the things she couldn't understand, but to the small things she did catch. And she noticed something important. Even on the days when English felt heavy, her brain was still recognizing familiar rhythms. She didn't always understand every sentence, but she could tell when a question was being asked. She could tell when someone was surprised, when someone was joking, when someone was giving instructions. Before she understood the words, she understood the tone. Before she understood the meaning, she understood the rhythm. And that's when she realized something. Listening improves long before you notice the results. Most people think listening works like this: study, understand, improve. But in reality, it looks more like this: listen, get lost again, catch one part, miss the rest, catch a phrase, get confused. Click. The click always comes last, but the progress happens long before it. Listening is not about understanding everything. It's about your brain learning to predict what might come next. Even when she felt confused, her brain was quietly building a map of sounds, stress patterns, sentence shapes, and the natural speed of English. And that map was getting better every time she listened, even when she felt lost. She didn't know the terms for it, but she was experiencing the real stages of listening progress. Stage 1, noise. Everything sounds too fast. You feel overwhelmed. You think you're failing. Stage 2, pieces. You catch random words or phrases. You still feel lost, but something small is changing. Stage 3, patterns. You start recognizing sentence shapes and tones. Meaning appears, then disappears. This stage feels shaky, but it's important. Stage 4, meaning. You don't understand everything, but you understand enough to follow the idea. Stage 5, automatic moments. The coffee shop moment. Small, fast, unexpected understanding that shows your brain is leveled up. She was somewhere between stage 3 and stage 4 right before her click happened. She just didn't see it. And that's the truth most learners never hear. You don't notice your listening progress until your brain is ready to show you the result. Her moment wasn't luck. It was the result of every confusing, frustrating, heavy day she had spent listening. Her brain had been learning the whole time, quietly in the background, building something she couldn't see yet. That small moment showed her one thing. She could go further. She just needed the right kind of practice. She walked home with her headphones still on, but the world didn't feel as loud as before. The noises of the street, the voices in the distance, everything blended together in a way that felt lighter. For the first time, she noticed something. Her brain had been learning quietly even when she felt stuck, even on the days she thought nothing was changing. Every small moment mattered. Every walk, every sentence, every attempt. None of it was wasted. The instant understanding she felt earlier wasn't a miracle. It was the result of hundreds of unnoticed steps stacked together inside her mind. And realizing that made her feel calmer than she had in months. She didn't have to chase progress anymore. She only had to keep showing up, a little each day. Not perfectly, just consistently. Because her mind had been growing all along, in quiet ways she never saw. In the end, she realized something simple. She was never broken, only growing quietly. And maybe you're the same. Maybe your English feels slow or heavy or stuck, but your mind is learning, even on the days you can't feel it. Keep showing up, keep listening. Your progress is already happening, softly, quietly, and more powerfully than you think. If this story made you feel calm or helped you understand yourself a little more, please like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more peaceful English listening practice.